Good evening, all. Ira Epstein with your SPDR ETF stock market wrap-up. And this wrap-up is for Wednesday, and we're at the 11th of February, 2026. Well, an interesting day. We had the jobs report. It blew away the estimates. They were between 50 and 70,000, and they came in at 135,000. Not everything's what it appeared. The revisions that came out took the 2025 job market down to an average of just over 15,000 a month. Not the 50,000 that we had thought we were getting, much less. Not sure how President Trump's going to talk about that one way or the other. I'm sure a lot of that has to do with not allowing people in over the borders, things of that nature, but we'll see. But remember, our economy is based on people working, spending. Very, very important. And that's why the market fluctuated as it did, and while it went up big on the jobs report, by the end of the market you were down $6 off the high and closed lower in S&P. You were down $4 in the Dow, and it even closed lower. RSP, the overall S&P, the bigger, stayed up nicely, and NASDAQ had maybe some short covering come into it. Maybe. We'll see just where that's at. Uranium with a little bit of a bid, but Meta was down, Microsoft down again, Rivian down, ARC shareholdings were down. Tesla was up $3. The metal's up because you're worried about what's going on in the Middle East, and you should be on it. Apple gained nicely on the day, $1.80. And Netflix, there's a lot of fear that, Netflix might add a few more dollars per share and try to knock out Paramount. I'd like Paramount to get it over Netflix, and I think Netflix would go right back towards $90 or higher. But we'll see what happens. Amazon down a little bit. The news for tomorrow. So we're going to be dealing first. You had McDonald earnings, and they came out strong as can be. You're looking at a company that grew worldwide 5.7%, and U.S. sales were up 6.8%. So they're in stride. They're doing great. Fourth quarter revenue, $7 billion. Fourth quarter earnings, $2.16 billion. Earnings per share, they were reported 303 on adjusted terms. They were up 312, but there's always adjustments that you have to make in there. Now, as we come back, let's see if I can get this right there. You're going to get the U.S. jobless claims coming out at 7:30, the existing home sales at 9 o'clock, the weekly natural gas report at 9:30. You're going to also get and we had the Treasury monthly budget, and we still have a deficit. Even with all the money we're collecting in these tariffs, we're still running a deficit of $95 billion. And what if I tell you the House of Representatives, 6 Republicans crossed over on a vote that Johnson did not want to go to the floor. He couldn't beat it. Members overrode him. And the vote was to remove tariffs on Canada. Remember, the Senate did that, saying there was no real emergency in October. So can the two get together and send the bill to the president to remove them? Maybe. And of course, at that point, the president will take out his pen and do what? Put it back in his pocket, and basically it's a veto. Now, do they have the guts to override the presidential veto? On the other hand, this president doesn't forget. He's got the mind of an elephant, and he's going to look at those 6, and he's threatened people. If you don't adhere to my policy, you're going to pay a political price. That's what you're dealing with right now. All right. So let's go to the charts and see what we've got. Now, as you know, I've been altering how these charts look and do different things. And one of the things that we're doing is we're looking like at IGV. We can't yet get it to come out and explain the whole data of what it is. We're there. We got it in a lot of, in fact, the individual stocks have done it. Now we're doing that. We've made other changes too to the software. I'm in the alpha one. This is the alpha version of it. You don't get this version. The release will come in a matter of days, and it does a lot more things. But as you can see, the market's still bearish, hasn't given a sign yet that it wants to turn up. Technically, I'll show you the slow stochastics, and we'll discuss that in a minute. I can move the swing line to this right here, and I should have. I'm looking at it now. It should have been moved right there, because that number is where the market has really got the resistance now at 87.08. When you look at all the moving averages, you're underneath them, and once we got the bearish crossovers right here, this was the last one, the game just let go to the downside. I've already showed you Microsoft down again. I can go on and on. The market is relentless in punishing software companies. They will get too cheap. You're looking also at a market, if we look at the Bollinger Band, you had hit it, you bounced away from it. But this is what I'm looking at. You didn't re-embed. So before this market gets down here to 79.27, I think that you could get the market to spin back up on you a bit. We'll see if that's the truth. Now in Caterpillar, one of the things I'm going to do, I'm going to put the symbols up. See, I can get this to give you the whole name, but now I'm putting the symbols up there so you can see that. Higher lows, higher highs. This is called the Gorilla Glue trade. It's when you start hitting after the third day, a fourth day, the Bollinger Band. And it's often accompanied or causes a slow stochastic. And that means on breaks, because markets only stay over that maximum in a row 5 times. I've seen it 7 and 9, but the real way there. So pros will look to buy on the break, figure out ways to come in. In Hershey, you can see you were over that upper Bollinger Band. You have the Gorilla Glue trade, and now you've pulled back in it. You're still embedded. So I think the pros are going to buy this market or bought it today. In Apple, as long as you have the embedded reading, you're okay. The market did not close nice. It could slip back on you. It closed near the day's low. And with that, you've got to keep your eye in the morning. Does it hold on to the embedded reading? In energy transfer, you've come down in a market that's had bullish bias other than one day, got back over the 18-day average, and is corrected. When it lost the bullish embedded reading and hit this average, it's now out of an overbought condition. It's now repositioning itself for whatever the next move's going to be. Google is still bearish. You can see this. Lower highs, lower lows. Oversold as can be, but a complete washout. This is a market that was just pushing up here, $50 higher, and now you're at the 306 area. Rivian, still getting beaten up. The market made it to the 18-day average of closes. It lost its bearish embedded reading. My bet on the chart was that it would make a run and try to get there. Show you this right here. See it? When you lose that reading, I think you're going to the 18-day average. It hit it, and that's generally where the market has to reestablish itself. Is it going to go back to bearish? Is it going to get bullish by getting over the highs of yesterday? Not today, but the highs of yesterday, and then make a run for the 100-day in the upper Bollinger Band? Can't tell just yet. DUOL. So I have a client, Brian, you know who you are, asked me to cover this again. He did very well being short. I've met Brian. We had lunch together. Fascinating gentleman. And when you look at it, no, it is not time to buy it, okay? You have an embedded reading looking at it. You know, you just do what you want to do. Now, you know, I don't guide anyone's money, but no, from a charting point of view, it's not time. You have a market that is down, it's embedded. Lose that reading and I can get interested, just the way in some of these other markets that have happened. When you look at the financial services, which are the big boy banks, they're down and got hit today pretty good. When we look at the industrial sector, Caterpillar, companies like that, they're still powerful. You've got the, again, the Gorilla Glue trade with the embedded reading. The first breaks generally get bought in the market. On energy, again, I'm going to say for the whole complex, how can you want to even think of anything but bullish as the market's going higher in price, worries about Iran, Israel, and the U.S., what's the next step going to happen there? And I think that's partially behind why the gold market has been going up. Each time the president says, we're talking next week and they better reach a deal, I think his patience has run out, period, run out. We'll see if Iran keeps holding their line. What Iran's habit is, as soon as they get pushed into a corner, the bravado comes out. You're not going to do this. We're going to do this. We'll take out the U.S. Navy and all that. They did a great job last time. Higher lows, higher highs, and as you can see how the market is sitting here fighting. But Walmart's losing its embedded reading. The first step. It hasn't lost it. You have to close under 79. 79.67 isn't it? Microsoft can't hold rallies. It too is the bearish embedded reading. Anything in the software part, DUOL, all of them, getting beaten up because people are concerned that AI is going to knock them out of their game. I don't believe that. There'll be some, not the whole industry. Down here, up, and by the way, not Microsoft. Let me be very clear. They'll just build the AI into their products, all right? I think the people don't get it. How many products run on Microsoft's system? Apple's only a small share, right? You've got Linux, okay, that's another free one, but I don't know any big business that tries to run on that. Microsoft is the backbone. Higher highs, lower lows. I like what the market's just sitting here. And I keep saying that because that's why I'm covering IGV with you. I think that we have to look and see where the market says enough is enough. When you look at the currency market, I'm still friendly in the euro, bearish the dollar. Nothing has changed in my whole picture. But one thing that you can do if you like these indicators is you can get them. And the way that you get them is so simple. Let me bring you to this right here. If you go to our website, IraEpstein.com, and you go to the top of it, and you have Trading View, go to the customer service area, give it a click. You get the swing lines, you get the Bollinger Bands. You have access to my window envelope numbers every day, by the way, with it. Outside days get highlighted on the charts. You can turn that feature off as well. But everything that I think is super important, including my formula for slow stochastics that isn't the one that you see on the typical charts, that is all included for you. So if you want to give it a try, go to IraEpstein.com, go to the customer area on the top right. You can move your cursor to the top up here, click the icon, or click this one. You'll see an icon for YouTube. Give the gear a click. It'll take you right to the website. I'm Ira. Have yourself a great, and the word is a great evening. Hope you watch the other videos, and I'll catch up with you in the morning. And remember, we get CPI numbers on Friday. Take care.